Hey guys, May Flum here. I'm working with Pour Medium. You're on my desk. So I like to speed this first part up because I'll be honest, it's a pretty boring video. What I've got here is 1 part acrylic paint, 3 parts pouring medium, and 1 drop cell creator. Okay, and I'm just going through, you can see the little drop of cell creator in this one. Just going through and giving everybody a really good stir, making sure everybody is nice and stirred up. So here's what I'm going to actually do. I actually think I want to make more than 1 project. Now that I've got, and this happens sometimes, I use the tiniest amounts of acrylic paint, you guys. And even still, like, I'm looking at the amounts that I have going here and going, wow, shoot, you know what? I have a lot more acrylic paint than I thought. So my plan is a dirty pour. Dirty pour means I'm going to pour them all into this cup here. And then after I'm done with that, I will pour it over my project, which right now is a picture frame. So I'm just going, I give it a little stir just in case anybody was not properly stirred. Give everybody a little pour there. And notice how, well, what you'll actually start to see is you'll actually start to see cells create and effects take place in there, which I think is awfully cool. We're gonna do another pour with some blue, and then I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of white, or a lot of white. So first of all, let me bring this way up here so you can see. Look in there how they're not mixing, but they are, you are starting to see those cells get created, which I think is amazing. Now, I've never done a picture frame before, so what I'm thinking about doing is just going like so. This is going to be an unavoidable situation where we're going to have overflow because it's a picture frame, because of the nature of the project here. Now, there's a few areas I wish there was more white. So what I want to see if I can do, I am still pretty new to the whole pour medium thing. I want to see if I just kind of plop some white here, if that will do it, if that will fix my problems. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to kind of gently move this around because what I don't want to do now, I don't want to pull on the color edges. Because see, I want it to blend and I want it to mix. But what I don't want is I don't want to make mud and I don't want to make hard lines. I want it to be very organic. I want it to look like however it's meant to look like. That's one of the things about these pours is you don't always totally control the outcome, and you don't want to, because if you try to completely control the outcome, well guys, they just don't turn out as good. And then what I'm thinking about doing is coming in here. I liked how the white dots actually worked. So I'm coming in here and just dripping on some purple. Instead of tilting it a whole bunch, I'm trying to do a couple of things. I'm trying to reduce my waste, guys. I don't like it when I see these projects and I just see, I'm already unhappy with how much waste I see down there. I should have put paper down. It's okay. But my point is, I don't love seeing waste in the first place. So if I can do something that helps reduce the waste, I'm going to. And one of those ways that I'm trying to work is to just kind of add as needed and make sure I'm not over adding to the beginning of a project when I don't need as much as I think I need. Now what I'm going to have to do, woohoo, this is going to be wild, is I'm going to need to kind of let it go around. I don't know how good this is going to work, honestly. I'm doing my best here. So I want to try to minimize how much I mess with this. And the reason I want to minimize how much I mess with this is the more I actually lay hands on it, the more I touch it and mess with it, the less organic it looks, the less I like the results. So I'm just kind of playing with it a little tiny bit there. Oh my gosh, though, look at down there. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to kind of roll this around, and I am going to try to pick up as much of that paint down there as I can. And then I'm also going to, and I probably should have gloves on, but hey, you know, whatever. I'm going to go through and go like this with white because I want a little more white in here. And this is what I've been playing with, experimenting with, is the dirty pour, where I do a dirty pour, but then I come in and mess with it with my own colors, adding in where I need more color, like so, to kind of make a hybrid kind of a project where it's both. Where, yeah, you know, I just kind of dumped color on and let it do what it wants to do, but I also add my own touches in there to make sure it works out the way I want it to work out. Now the very edges, I am going to just go along the very edges along the outside. I'm not worried about those. Okay, I have a couple thoughts on those. I'm not worried about them though. And I'm thinking a little more of the darker blue. A couple little drops and squiggles of that. Oh, I'm liking this method a lot more than just the straight picking my colors or straight just a dirty pour, because this is letting me kind of customize some things. Then I'm going to hit this with the heat tool. Now I'm not actually sure how much this is going to do. By the way, this heat tool barely is letting out air. It's not doing a whole ton. But I've seen this done a little bit to help it spread and to help create more intense cells. So I figure I'll give it a shot and see what I think. And I can see it's kind of moving things around a little bit. So that's kind of cool. I would just probably keep moving. I wouldn't try keeping it in one spot for too long. I can see though, it does kind of stretch the paint out and cause any bubbles to rise. It's kind of causing some effects, which I like. So that's pretty cool. And I like how this ended up with kind of a marbled look. So I'll continue to do that however many times I feel like I get benefit from. But that's basically it. The only thing left that we've got to do, besides that I need to start wearing gloves in here because I get so messy, there's two things we've got to do. Number one, before it gets too dry on the inside, I'm going to need to wipe down so that the frame will actually work once it's all the way dry. I'm going to probably get in here with I'm thinking a paintbrush and a bucket of water, and get in here and get all those little edges so that I have more control. I'm also thinking I'm going to lift this up and put it on a different surface to dry so that I can get under at those edges without making a mess, without causing effects that I don't want, like I just did here. I don't like how that went when I did that. So I'm going to do that. And then the only other thing is I'm going to try to get a piece of paper and soak up some of that. I'm just going to use tags, okay? After I lift this up, I'm just going to place tags on here to see what I get. But I'm loving the look of this, and I'm loving the effects. I hadn't realized that this would, and I can just keep adding sprinkles of color as I like. I like the flicking of color on here. I think that's fun. Another thing, I have gold spray here that I really like to work with. So I'm thinking I'll try a few little dots of that in there. I love this, and I know it's discontinued, but I love this Heidi Swap Gold mist combined with paint pouring, because you get these great golden effects and it melts or blends right into the paint. Looks super cool. It really is fun, guys, and you know what? I'm really loving how this turned out. That was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned, because I've got paint pour project ideas and I will keep them coming at you. It won't take over the channel, don't worry, but I am going to keep sharing those ideas because, guys, this is a lot of creative fun.